Camouflage. I sat on the bench, trying to ascertain if I was about to make the right decision. 50 naira was the last legal tender on me, and I was prepared to squander it on a football match. The weekend was really loaded. There was a London Derby match and an El Clasico. I was about to pay for the London Derby with my last cash. How would I watch El Clasico? I asked myself, just as the thought of survival after watching the match flew across the river of my mind. I wasn't expecting any allowance from home since Aregwe had not paid a kobo in 5 months. A tap on my shoulders brought me back from the voyage of rumination. My body shook as though I had a spasm. It was Onile, the owner of the football hall. Since the match had started, he's been going round, collecting money from everyone. I dipped my hands inside the roots of my pockets and gave him my widow's mite. To my greatest surprise, he skipped the lady beside me while he collected from the next guy. Out of curiosity, I watched him carefully until he finished the money collection exercise. He did not charge any of the ladies therein. Later, the lady sitting next to me explained that females are not charged for watching football in Ile-Ife. I was furious. This is gender inequality. I muttered to myself as I began to think about the rationale behind it. I decided that I wouldn't pay a dime when I come back to watch the El Clasico by evening. Evening found me in my room, meticulously applying makeup on my face. I had learned a few tips about makeup from my lovely sister. When I was done and was sure I looked feminine enough, I wore the skull cap my girlfriend left in my room the last time she visited. I checked the mirror and was proud of my look, except for the absence of breasts. I folded some clothes and hid foams inside the clothes. Afterwards, I hid them under my round neck top. It was a perfect camouflage. When I got to the football hall, it was empty. Onile was still arranging the scattered benches from the previous match. When he told me I was an hour earlier than scheduled, he did not notice my disguise, and I smiled at myself. I had no problem with my voice since it was somewhat feminine. Onile seemed to like me. He insisted I sit beside him during the match, and I did not object. He told me I placed a bet, predicting that both teams would score. He said he would buy me a bottle of Fanta if he wins. The match had started, and Real Madrid seemed to be dominating with a goal ahead of Barcelona. Onile was praying for Barca to score so he would win the bet. I wanted them to win too because I was eager to receive my Fanta. Goal! The football house vibrated with joy on the faces of Barca fans. Barca had equalized. Onile jumped for joy. He had won the bet. I stood up to jubilate with him. And before I could prevent what happened next, he hugged me tightly. Everyone's attention shifted from the goal to Onile, who hugged a certain lady in the front seat. All of a sudden, he was still. He looked at me and slowly took his hands off me. I was filled with terror and shame because I knew I had been caught. He stretched his hands to palpate my breasts. He seemed like an expert. With an ordinary hug, he caught on that the mountain on my chest wasn't breasts. I tried to block his hands, but it was stronger than I expected. He held my 2 hands with one of his, and the spectators watched the funny drama, even as some questioned what seemed to be physical assault. He announced my offense to them as he pulled out the breast. Everyone laughed, while some rained insults on me. At that point, I questioned the responsibility of the angel assigned to blow the trumpet on the last day. Why didn't he blow the trumpet so the world could end that day?